You are going to cook us dinner today?
I am.
And your name, my dear?
Is Roshell.
And Rochelle, tell me about where you came from, your mother, and the dish you're cooking. And
So I'm making a Fijian Indian prawn curry. My mother is from a small town just out of the capital of Fiji. Her parents are of Indian heritage. She grew up in Fiji. Fijian Indian curries are a little bit different to Indian curries. They incorporate a few more flavors, so things like coconut milk. Today we're using prawns, which isn't traditionally used in Indian curries. Obviously comes from the islands.
now, prawns are shrimp, as we call them in America.
Yeah, that's right. Prawns are shrimp for you guys, that's right.
Uh-huh.
I always forget that.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just trying to do her recipe justice. I haven't made it in a few years, but when I lived here previously, I used to make it all the time for Maddie and Mr. Goffredo. So just, yeah, felt like making prawns. It's a nice warm day. It's Diwali weekend as well, so eating some traditional food is always nice.
And tell us about Diwali weekend. What is that?
Diwali is the festival of lights. So Diwali, or sometimes Deepavali or Diwali, it translates to series of lights. It's basically how Hindus, Sikhs and Jainis celebrate the New Year. And it has a really beautiful meaning. It actually is the celebration of good over darkness, knowledge over ignorance, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, and light over darkness. And that's what Diwali means, and that's what we celebrate. We celebrate the coming of the new year, and that we've made it to this new year, and how blessed we are to move forward to the next year, regardless of all the bad that's happened.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite holidays. Just 'cause it has such a beautiful meaning.
Okay, and this dish that you're preparing for us, tell us what's going in this dish again.
So you've got, the base is onions, fresh crushed ginger, fresh crushed garlic.
So this is the ginger right here?
That might be the garlic, that's the ginger there.
This is the ginger right here.
Yeah.
Okay, ginger, the garlic,
Yeah, we've got onions. And then my little spice box.
and you were saying, what are you saying about this little spice thing? This is something that's passed down from generation to generation?
It's not past, it's just that when you get to a certain age, your mum will make you one, and then they give it to you, and it's like, you know, you're at an age where you can cook for your family and take care of your family, and you just keep it and you just keep refilling it.
So tell me, what kind of spices am I looking at?
Alright, so you've got cloves here, you've got fennel seeds, mustard seeds, curry leaves, faruk. I don't know what this is called in
Curry
English.
leaves. I've never seen curry leaves.
You've never seen curry leaves? Really?
Okay, yeah.
Wow. Cardamom pods, and then this is star anise, which obviously has gotten taken over by some of my other seeds.
Star anise?
Yeah, but today we'll be using this, the fennel, and the curry leaves. That's it.
Okay, that's it?
Yeah, but if I was making chicken curry, I would also use the cloves and the mustard seeds.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't know when I incorporated or learnt all of this, but it just kind of sticks with you. Prawn curry is probably, I'd say like the least fragrant, just because you hold a lot more flavour in the coconut milk and the tomatoes. So there's not as many spices, but it's probably one of my favourites. More fresh, I'd say, than the others. Other curries can be quite intense, and then Indian curries altogether are a lot more intense than Fijian Indian curries. So sometimes when I eat traditional Indian curries, it's just a bit much for me sometimes.
When it's too spicy, too hot?
Not too hot, just too much is going on.
Oh, really?
Too much is going on. Just because, again, I grew up with Fijian Indian curries, and there is such a difference. I'm only using one chili today.
Okay.
And then everyone can adjust it, but it's a bird's eye chili, so it is pretty hot. It is pretty hot. Matthew was meant to...
Now what is this right here?
Eggplant. So you don't have to put that in. I like adding it in because it absorbs some of the curry. So it just like adds an extra Yeah, it's just like a sponge, so it absorbs all the curry flavor in it. It gets really soft. Yeah, usually I would use because they don't have this eggplant on the island, it's usually the long, thin ones that you'll see in like Southeast Asian countries.
Okay, okay.
You know what's the name of the long eggplant in English? It's just long eggplant.
Long eggplant?
Yeah. He's eating some Diwali sweets right now.
Bloody delicious.
Okay, the onions.
Yep.
And what is this? Olive
Just
oil?
Olive oil, yeah.
Okay.
You would use like canola or vegetable oil. Just it's a little bit more neutral, but yeah, I prefer olive oil.
Olive oil is healthier for you than the
Yeah.
other one. All the other vegetable oils are not good for
They're
you.
not good for you,
Nope.
yeah. So I always grew up with my mum using olive oil just for the health reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You could use coconut oil as well, but sometimes that overtakes the flavor.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're meant to use a neutral oil in Indian cooking, which is unfortunately canola or vegetable. But
Okay. So now you're putting all the onions in.
sorry, Mr. G. There's onions. There's onions.
Okay, what spice did you just add in there?
I just added some cumin seeds and a little bit of mustard seeds.
So how much cumin seed? You just do it by filling?
I do it by feeling, yeah. I don't have exact measurements, probably about 2 teaspoons and then a teaspoon of mustard seeds. And then I'll know it's warm enough to start adding the other stuff when the mustard seeds start popping.
The mustard seeds will pop?
They'll pop, yeah, so watch out.
So let me see one that's not popped. How does it look?
No, it will like literally pop out of the pan.
Oh, it pops out the pan. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll come out of the pan, and then that's how you know it's ready for like the
Okay.
next stage.
Okay.
And then after that, we will add in our ginger, garlic, and our chili.
And you're putting the chilies in with the garlic, or?
Yeah, usually you can just mix it all together before you put it in, but it doesn't really matter. And we use fresh ginger and garlic. You can use canned stuff as well. It's just a personal preference. I think the flavor's stronger and better if you use, rather than the pre-bottled, you use fresh.
Yeah.
There? You're smelling it?
Just smelling it, yeah, to see if it needs more cumin seeds, to be honest. But I'm going to move my face because I can see the mustard seeds are about to pop in my face.
Oh, so that's when you know it's ready to add. What was the next ingredient?
So we're going to add the fresh tomatoes, the ginger, chili, and garlic.
Okay.
Yeah, and then this is going to start making the base of the curry.
Smells real good.
Yeah, this is when it starts getting that kind of real curry smell starts coming out. We haven't even added the spices yet, so yeah, it's just the base, cooking it down.
Okay. What you're adding now?
Just some tomato paste to the base. I'm also going to add in some curry leaves. Usually I would use fresh curry leaves, but I didn't have time to go to the store today, so we're just using some dried curry leaves.
I've always had the curry powder, but never the leaves.
Curry leaves are the best. We do have curry powder here, but
Uh-huh.
I won't be using it for today's recipe. Very rarely do we actually use curry powder.
Really?
Yeah, we just mix it all ourselves.
You want the real thing, huh?
Yeah, basically, that's what we do.
Okay. Oh, the consistency really looks good.
Yeah.
You're adding a little bit more tomato
Yeah.
paste.
A little
Now,
bit more tomato paste.
and how many people would this feed?
Probably 6.
Six?
We're probably overboard. So you guys will be having curry tomorrow, but it tastes better the second day.
Okay.
It tastes so much better the second day. Some eggplant in. Probably don't need all of it, but I'm just trying to grab the ones at the bottom because they were soaked in water, so that'll be a little less bitter.
So you soak the, what do you say? You soak the,
Yeah, you soak it in water so that it loses some of the bitterness. You can add a whole bunch of salt as well, but because we're going to be adding salt throughout the recipe, I didn't want to over salt the eggplant.
so eggplant is bitter?
Yeah, I mean this eggplant is. Usually we would use adding in the salt now. We've added in the eggplant, so it will be that. I won't add too much. Usually I taste test it a little bit further down the track, but this is just to help with the eggplant to absorb some of the bitterness as well.
Okay.
But yeah, we're starting to get the curry now.
Let me just see. Oh, yes, it's changed its color.
It has, and we're gonna start adding.
So the curry has made it turn yellowish orange looking?
Yeah, it's about to get a little bit more yellow because we're going to add turmeric. So this is the trick I always learn. Everyone has their own family. Usually I would use masala, but couldn't find masala unfortunately, or Fiji masala. But garam masala still works. It's just a little bit stronger.
Now whose masala is it?
So this is garam masala, but there's a specific masala called Fiji
Let me
masala.
see.
So this is more traditional.
So that's what most people use.
Yeah, this is more traditional. It works a little bit better with lambs. Usually you use Fiji masala for like seafood because it's not as intense.
So you have a store where you can get Fiji masala?
Masala, yeah, I do have in Liverpool.
Masala?
In Liverpool, there is quite a few like Fijian Indian stores, which is really good.
Girl, how much are you putting in there?
So the trick is always 2 tablespoons of garam masala to 1 of
2
turmeric.
tablespoons?
So I put 4 in there, and I'm going to do 2 of turmeric, and then we just go from there. If it needs more, we add more, but I feel like this should be a good amount. And then this is when it's going to reduce heat a little bit. It's going to get a little bit dry.
So what did you have the temperature on it first?
I started it on a 7. I don't know what temperature that is.
So the maximum temperature on the stove is what, 9?
9 is the max, yeah.
So you had it on 7?
Yeah, that's
Okay,
correct.
and then you just reduce it to what?
And then I reduced it to a 5 when we added in the garlic, tomatoes, ginger, and all of that.
Okay.
Just because I didn't want it to burn. And then now that it's got the spices in there, you can see it's getting quite dry. So I've reduced it to a 4.
So the spices is most making it dry?
Yeah, so a lot of our curries at least are dry curries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now what are you adding now?
I'm just adding in about a cup of water.
About a cup of water,
Yeah.
okay?
Just so it can simmer. Because this is going to simmer down. If I didn't add that water, it's going to get really dry and all stick.
It looks like it has meat in it almost.
Yeah, right? Because it's a really thick base. It's all the tomatoes cooked down. But now I'm just going to leave it to simmer on a 4 for probably about 10 minutes. Then taste it. And then we're up to the last part, which is just adding in our prawns and coriander.
Okay.
But also I'll let you guys taste it, and if you feel like you want it a bit more of the Fijian side, we'll add in some coconut milk as well.
Okay.
So it's creamier. We do have
I want coconut milk in it. I already know I know. That's
You guys
like,
all want
yes,
coconut milk?
yes, coconut milk.
It's doing a slow simmer, as you can see.
Boy, it's really changing this whole texture and everything.
Now it's becoming a curry.
And he's over there making his dish.
He's teaching me something about being Indian right now.
Papadum.
So this is the result
It is, isn't
of
it?
what you just did. Are you serious?
That's a papadum.
So now how do you eat it?
You eat it by putting it in your mouth and crunching it.
That's how you eat it? Wow.
It's usually an accompaniment to an Indian curry.
Uh-huh.
And what I do with them is I dip the curry, like scoop the curry.
Well, why don't you taste it and see if her curry's tasting right with that?
It's not ready.
All right, very good. What are we getting ready to add next?
So we're just going to add the coconut milk in. It's simmered down to a really nice colour.
Okay.
Everyone has requested coconut milk, so we're just going to add that in.
All right.
Give that a stir, and it's a nice golden colour now.
Oh, it has changed the color.
Yeah. So we're just going to let that cook down. It's a little bit too soupy at the moment, so we're going to let it simmer. Once it thickens up a bit, I will proceed to add the prawns. coriander. That will only take a couple minutes and then we're ready to eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, how long would you say it takes to prepare for this dish?
This one is probably one of the shorter curries, so what's the time now? 60 to 90 minutes.
Oh, really?
The thing that takes the longest with this one though is just the prep, I think, because it's got the most like fresh ingredients. But yeah, most curries do take about 90 to 3 hours, sometimes longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just depends how much you're making as well. So
Okay.
yeah, curries take a while, but they're worth it usually, hopefully.
Trying to put in there now?
So we're just waiting on some rice.
Oh, let me see. Ooh, the whole thing?
The whole thing.
Oh.
We don't chop and devein.
You don't what?
We don't chop and devein.
You don't?
Yeah, we put prawns in whole. Everything they do is chop, no head and devein.
Oh, you should
Wait a
try
minute.
it.
No. So basically, you don't clean the prawns or anything. You just put it in there. You eat the guts and everything.
No, there's a way to eat them, so you don't eat that part.
Yeah.
Well, y'all gonna have to teach me.
So usually,
Yeah, this is me, and yes, they are going to have to teach me how to eat prawns. It ain't been gutted and cleaned and deveined, you know.
No,
I'm an American, okay, y'all? So when I was taking the heads off and cleaning it and doing all that, did
We
you?
don't do it. We put the whole.
flavors.
That's it.
It's your flavor.
Flavor.
Okay, y'all gonna teach me something. They're gonna teach me something, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. What you doing, girl?
We're putting the whole prawns in.
Ew. Did you wash them off?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah, there's water in the bag. Yeah, it's just going to give it an amazing flavour. That's why we
Okay.
use the whole prawn.
Okay.
And I'm just going to come in as well with the fresh coriander.
Coriander.
What do you call it? Cilantro.
Okay.
Cilantro.
Cilantro.
Thank
Oh,
you.
shit. Whatever.
So now you're taking over cooking.
No, because she's got. I know she's a very strong young woman, but she was pouring the stuff in, and now she can take it back.
Yeah, because the prawns cook
'Cause I'm
very,
doing the
very
rice.
quickly. So we just need someone to stir it so they cook evenly. And this is starting to look amazing.
It looks good.
This is starting
And we're gonna have rice. This served over rice.
We are, yep. And then we've also got a rati, which is a yogurt on the side.
Now what is it?
Rati, which is yogurt.
Rat tails.
Yogurt. What?
It's yogurt with we cook it with we put shredded carrot and shredded cucumber.
So carrot and cucumber
Yeah.
shredded.
Usually we put it on the side of most of our curry dishes because it cuts through the heat. This one isn't too hot, but yeah, it cuts through any chili. It also, most curries are very salty. They usually are on the saltier side, so it cuts through that as well, and just makes it a lot fresher. So yeah, we always include yogurt on our.
It gives it a fresh taste.
Yeah. Oh, these are good prawns. Prawns over the
Oh,
stove.
they're red now, aren't they?
They're red, yeah, that's what we want. We've got a few guys in here that need.
So once they're red,
I'm out.
once they're red and the rice is ready,
Oh, sorry.
I was wondering why they weren't cooking.
what do he do? Turn the stove off on you?
Yeah.
I guess he said it's a habit, huh? And he said, what you said, nobody's normally in your kitchen.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that what you sweet? Mr.
Like,
Mr.
yeah.
Man, I'm not going to even say your name, but what did you say? Nobody,
My name is Domenico Goffredo.
that was too much information.
Wait a minute. Domenico Goffredo.
Frito.
Ooh, I don't know about you, but I'm going to cut this off. Pull back. So this is it. This is the final product.
This is the final product.
And this over here.
That's just some basmati rice, so we keep it very like dry, not sticky.
Okay, it's a special kind of rice, correct?
Yeah, it is. It's
Indian
long grain
rice.
basmati.
You say Indian rice?
Yeah.
And what's the difference in Indian rice and other rice?
It's not meant to be sticky, the grains fall apart, and it's a longer grain as well.
Okay.
It's actually really healthy as well.
And I see somebody's digging right in.
This is
Oh,
made
yeah.
especially for him, so
Question is, now
was
this
his
over
request.
here, this, that's yogurt you said over here?
This is
Ah,
this is
yogurt,
yogurt
yeah,
that we
yeah.
have on the side.
Uh-huh.
It just cuts through if it is really chilly for some people. Makes it a lot fresher as well. And yeah, helps with this. So
Want some rice, maybe?
Whoa.
just a spoon.
All right. And so we're having a salad.
Just that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess it's time for me to turn. I'm getting ready to chow down, y'all. This is Big Q signing out. What did you just do, girl? I'm looking at you.
So first you take off the head. I mean, everyone has their own technique. I'm Roshell.
Uh-huh.
Because those are really fresh prawns as well. They just kind of like slide out.
Okay.
Just make sure you remove the sack, which should come off when you take off the head. with
What
my
did you
hand.
call it?
The sack, the poop sack.
Okay, the sock. Okay, like the brain, devein it.
vein,
The vein,
Yeah, we call it deveining.
We call it a poop shoot.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Wait a minute, what did you say? You call it what?
The poop shoot.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm gonna grab some of the curry, some of the rice, because it's hot, some of the yogurt.
And that's the way you're supposed to eat it, girl.
That's how I learned.
And whose custom is this?
From my mum's side, the Indian side.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.